the money.
Here we go, money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money,
Dollar, 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 dollar.
Hello, my name is Alexander, and today I want to explain about the financial crisis and what caused it. So, what were the real reasons that the financial crisis happened? No, it was not the Illuminati, but let me explain what really caused it. First of all, it's all about people with a lot of money want to turn their big pile of money into more money. Let's call these guys the investors. Normally, when the investors want to make more money, they go to the Federal Reserve and buy treasury bills. But caused by the dot-com bust, the CEO of the Federal Reserve declared that every treasury bill would only be profited by 1%. So, a lot of the investors said no thank you to only 1% of profit. But a lot of the US banks could loan a lot of money from the Federal Reserve would only need to pay back 1%. That made the banks go crazy about leverage. Now, what is leverage? Well, let me explain. Well, let's say you have $10,000. Then you go out and loan $990,000. That left you with the amount of $1 million. Then you're gonna go out and buy something for your $1 million and later on sell it for $1,100,000. Now you're gonna pay back the $990,000 that you loaned from the beginning. And then when you take out the $10,000 you have from the beginning, you live with a profit of $90,000 profit. And this is how banks make money. These leverage deals made the banks a lot of money. And the investors see this and want a piece of the cake. So what the banks did was connecting the investors to the house owners through mortgages. So this is how it works. A family wants to buy a house with some kind of value. They get contact with a mortgage broker. They contact them with a lender that gets them a mortgage. And this is a great deal for the family because house prices is rising and rising and rising. And then the lender is going to contacted by the investment banker who want to buy the house mortgages. When you buy a house mortgage, you loan a lot of money to buy a lot of house mortgages. So every month the house owners is going to pay him for living in their houses. When the bank investor have a lot of house mortgages, he put it into a box called the collateralized debt obligations. In the collateralized debt obligation, you will find three categories of house mortgages: safe, okay, and risky. The higher the house mortgage risk is, the higher the profit percent is. To make the safest investment safer, banks will make a credit default swap on some of the safest house investments. The bank make the safest investment safer, so the rating agency will make the investment AAA. AAA is the safest you can get in an investment. After that is BBB, still okay, and after that they stop rating the investments. When the investments is rated, the bank investments sell the safest investments to people who want to be safe, the BBB investments to people who want to earn a little more, and the risky one to the risk takers. When this money-making technique is used a lot of time, they stop being able to find anyone who is qualified to buy a house. So, when there's no more qualified people to buy houses, they need to find new ways to earn money. When a loaner default on their loan, that means that the bank now owns the house. So, what they did were loaning people money to a house who had no proof of income and no down payment. So when they default on their loan, the banks owns the entire house. With a nice income and something of value were called prime mortgages. But people with no proof of income and no down payment were called subprime mortgages. And this is the point where the bankers really fucked up. When the no down payment and the no income family bought a house, they have a house with a nice rising price. They have a house broker who make money. They have a loaner making money. They have the bank investors making money, and they have the mortgages investors making money. Everybody was rich and happy. Then, when the family defaulted on their loan, the guy with the mortgages at that time just sold the house and then sold the mortgages to the next guy who wants to buy it. That meant that the investment bank had a lot of mortgages who turned into default loaned houses. That meant that some of his monthly payment turned into houses instead. That meant there were a lot of houses that no one would buy. And that meant that all the house prices will go down. And this is where the problem comes for people who still were paying their mortgages, because houses around them were going down in value. That means that their house also were going down in value. Now the mortgage owners are paying the mortgage on way more money than the house is worth. And after that, the investment banker now have a lot of houses that have no value. And the problem with that is the investment bank were loaning a lot of money to buy a lot of mortgages. And now, because he can't sell the mortgages, he can't pay the loan back. But it's not only the investment banks who are having trouble. The investors have already bought 1,000 of mortgages and can't sell them. And the loaners also have a lot of mortgages they can't sell to the investment bank. That means their entire financial system is frozen. No one can sell, no one can loan, no one can buy.